What's going on, DBS community? Elmo Gonzalez here with G Sports and Entertainment. We got here team member Gabe, Pan the Man Santiago. That's right, guys and girls. He is our Pan player. He's been playing Pan ever since she came out. In my opinion, the innovator for that deck. Just came back from the ARG Invitational. Finished. What did we finish in teams, Gabe?
We finished third in teams.
Finished third in teams, and you ran Pan, and then you finished 22nd in the main event singles. Bubbling out, losing in the last round. But hey, you know what happens. You know, just taking the deck that's pretty much not Gogeta, Shenron Gogeta, Victory Strike, Janemba, nothing. But you playing Pan. So let's see what this deck looks like, buddy.
All right. There's some changes from the last time, but yeah, Pan the leader, still one of my favorite leaders in the game. I think we know what she does. Anyways, I played 3 Legics, basically Cyber Dragon for you Yu-Gi-Oh players. Lets you to get that draw card in the beginning of the game. I'm probably gonna end up cutting this down. Like, it was great in the beginning of the early game, but then after that, I usually have a board, so he can probably go down to 2 or 1. This Baba. This was like one of the MVPs all day. Just being able, she just does so much for just 1 energy. She just reduces and just does a lot for just 1. And being able to answer Kid Goku's in the beginning of the game, so it sets him back a turn, which is great. So that 30k vanillas takes a little bit longer to come down. I'm glad I played this card. I love this card so much. Anyways, here's a new card, the new Trunks. Basically allows you to draw 2 when you play with Pan. Also with Baba, she gives them a boost and you draw a card later in the game as well too, from her effect. Of course, triggering your Pan's effect first. But Trunks, what I also liked about him over Yamcha is I could just play him and I draw the cards and I have to swing. And that was important in certain matches where they would just bully me, like Kid Goku's with their 30Ks, and I couldn't really answer it with Yamcha, but I could just leave them in active mode and they can't really do anything. They have to remove it. So it just stays on the board, which is great for those matchups. Here's a new card that nobody's been playing the other Pan list, which was, in my opinion, the clutch card all weekend, Deborah. Basically, Deborah, it's like Fiendish Chain in a way, well, for you Yu-Gi-Oh players, Fiendish Chain, but at the same time, it locks down your opponent's monster. They can't attack or swing with it. I call it a mobile negate because basically you take there's like a 30k triple strike Frieza that in the Dende matchup where they had, and I just locked it down. They can't touch, they can't do anything with it. And then basically I have free range just to keep attacking their leader and just build up a board, and I just leave them in active mode. You have to deal with it, and people usually will deal with it. Usually remove on this guy to something else more threatening, but I'm okay with that. Like, this card's amazing. I love this card. I don't know why people are not playing this card. Anyways, 3 Digging Deeps, just stable in Pan, just helps you awaken. It just applies a lot of pressure for 25k, triple attack, dual attack. My opponent, just so important. It just helped me in those matchups where they just were stopping me from awakening, and I would just put up so much damage with this card. It's so important. Still 3 Fearless Pans. There are sometimes at the event I wish I played the 4th, and I might end up bumping this card to 4, but at the same time, I feel like some people are still wrong about this card because if you lose your board and everything, she becomes useless. Like, she's only good if you, in a way, you're winning, but she does end up closing the games. I feel like this is a little blasphemous, but I put this card to 3 after some advice from someone with some advice in the car, which it was great because I had to reduce the amounts of 1Ks in my deck, but at the same time, I kind of miss, sometimes I didn't have it turn 0, and I kind of missed that, but I love this card. I definitely want to bring it back to 4 somewhere, but the number 1 case. The Gohan, I played him during the event, and it was great. Like, some people say you might not have the mana to do it, but sometimes just not playing, if anything, just passing was great. Just being able to just negate and then relieving pressure off your leader so you keep your high life throughout the game, use it as a resource, and just answering like certain monsters down on the field that are problematic with this negative 10k buff, and he just stops like 2 attacks. This card was great. I love this card. Like, now you don't have to play something turn 2 automatically. You just leave your energy open, and that's a good play too. 4 after images, in my opinion, just staple, just does its job. 2 Fidel, I cut her down because more cards in the deck. Room is so tight in this deck, but at the same time, she did win me a game with Gogeta 7 where they knocked my hand back out, and then I ended up drawing this, just negating and just winning the game that way. But at the same time, she was not really too important throughout the weekend, but she was nice to have another negate. 4 super combos, Bulma, super combo. This guy still in my opinion, really good card. Basically be able to aggro for just 1, summoning a a double strike attacker for just 1 on both players' turns, and I was able to Shigesh some people throughout the weekend. It was so good. I love this card. Still just so important. Allows you to make some plays. Oh! And during the Purunga matchup with Victory Strike, being able to just God Strike and then summoning this guy just to answer the path to greatness. So good. 4 Gokus, just 15 just for 1, just triggering your pan effect and drawing 2 cards. Pretty good. Gohan's Relief Pressure, in my opinion, still a good card. Just when I couldn't really play the Goku because they have those cards, then this card comes up. I like this card. It's nice. 2 Vegeta. His effect was pretty good in the Kid Goku matchup, but I didn't run the matchup with me. And then this boss monster. Finally, Pan got like a finisher without involving just a huge board, even though he's better with boards. This guy was really good all weekend, typically except against yellow matchups where he got stopped, which kind of sucked. But it was like being forced to my only play. But this guy, for 30k, triple attack, and then just being able to rip your opponent's hand apart, loved it. The only thing is, I kind of wish I just played 1, but in the Geneva matchups, it was great having 2.
Well, awesome job. Obviously the side deck is very important. We're going to check that out right now.
Yeah, just Corona never came up. This card was great in a lot of matchups. Being able to just answer quite a bit of things, loved it. 4 Kappas for those matches where people like to play solitaire, as we called it all weekend. He was really good in those matchups, like the Victory Strike and the Shinjita matchups, stuff like that. Father-Son Kamehameha, really good for those boss monster decks. Didn't really play against Broly's, so didn't really come up, but when I played against certain boss monster decks, it was really nice to have just to answer something cheaply. Tien for the Genova matchup, but in my opinion, this card just does enough. You might not need this anymore, maybe. But again, playing this for a red-blue deck for 1 with Pan is pretty good trigger effect for just 1, so still good. And one of the MVPs of that day, Godstrike Beers, I wish I played more of this, but he ended up having me answer Path of Greatness and everything. But at the same time, I kind of messed up in one of the games with this card, where I thought you could do it to crack his face time. Whoop, was wrong, and I got punished for that badly and lost that game. But I ended up winning the match though. But that's the side deck.
So, this past weekend, obviously, our team did pretty well. Very excited for that. Moving forward, especially with, the set 7 coming out and things like that, do you feel Pan is still going to be relevant?
Pan, there's going to be some more tools for Pan in set 7. Like, almost, as long as they keep printing 1,500 monsters that just trigger Pan's effect, this deck, in my opinion, is just always going to be just a solid deck to play. Like, there's already some new cards I definitely want to play around with Pan in the next set. I'm already want to change my build already, like, from this past week, from looking at the results. Wish I had a little, did a little bit more testing in the format. But I definitely think, like, a lot of those games that I technically lost, they could have been played differently and won. Like, nothing felt like I was outmatched completely.
Well, this is Gabe, Pan the Man Santiago. You'll be seeing more of them at events. This season is going to be really big for our team, especially working with other big name organizations. Stay tuned for that. But appreciate everything, Gabe. Thank you, man.
You all have a good day.